And of course, I watch the woods. They're always closer than you think. Someone lets out a whoop. Patrick, the drummer, and Jez, the bassist, have stepped unobtrusively onto the stage. Jez is lanky, with long sun-blonde hair. Patrick has a buzz cut and burly shoulders and arms. Jez looks like a surfer who got lost here in northern Minnesota. Patrick looks like he could rip a car apart with his bare hands, and then put it correctly back together again. They arrange mic stands, check amps. It takes ages. They're particular. It's actually Anders who's particular. But he doesn't help with the setup. He doesn't appear until the very end, because the moment he steps onto the stage, everything changes. The taste of the coffee, the lights, the air. It's an energy that can't be sustained, not while the band futzes around with plugs and strings and chords. It starts to feel dangerous. The simmer before an overflowing boil. So Anders waits until everything is set. Then he steps through a back door onto the little stage, holding his black electric guitar. I've heard he calls it Yvonne. And there's a shift in the air. People scream as though half of them haven't sat across the aisle from him in math class. And they haven't, really. Classroom Anders blends in. He's medium height, with choppy brown hair and the kind of features you only start to notice the second or third time you look. Well-shaped face, nice edges, sleepy-lidded eyes. You could pass him in a crowded school hallway and not look up. But seeing him on stage is different. You wonder how you didn't see it all along. You wonder how you ever looked at anything else. He seems taller, looming over the packed room. His face is harder. His hands, sliding into place on the black guitar, are long-fingered and rough. But the way they move isn't. There's a beat, a blast of feedback. The first song starts. It's Dead Girl. I recognize it immediately. I know all the songs by heart. Even the new ones, the ones they've only played in public once or twice. The ones they've never played in public at all. Patrick hunches behind the drums, his arms a muscular blur. Jez leans back like the bass in his hands as a counterweight. And Anders. At the front of the stage, at the microphone, the black guitar in his hands. Anders. Anders. My hands are always cold, she says, she says. I forgot my coat, she says, she says. Would you walk me home? Walk me home and I'll be warm. I'm not the only one who knows all the words. Half the crowd is screaming along. Just a little more, she says, she says. It's lonely underground, she says, she says. But we always leave the door. We always leave the door open. By the second song, there's a pit forming in front of the stage. Bodies are jumping, writhing, smashing into one another. The music gets faster, harder. The floor trembles. Energy crashes off the raggedy walls. It shoves back at the woods. It pushes out the emptiness. I stay at the edge, sipping my coffee. But the music has gotten into my blood too. My heart thumps in rhythm. Finally, when the energy can't rise any higher, everything stops. There's a hush. That floating feeling after the ground disappears beneath you, but before the fall. Anders plans all of this, the order and number of songs, the moment when the hunger will peak, the pause. He trades Yvonne for the acoustic guitar. The roaring, thrashing crowd goes still. Patrick rubs a thick forearm over his face and rests his sticks in his lap. Takes a long drink of water. Jez backs toward the wall where the shadows erase him. The song starts with a few instrumental lines. A melody moves up and down the lower strings. The room has been sealed in glass. No one moves, or everything will shatter. Anders starts to sing. For most songs he uses a growl, a mix of low tones and monster rap.